sweetie pies. I am Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is Days of Our Lives edition. Today is uh, Tuesday, October the 24th, 2023. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna let you guys rate it. I don't know what's going on, but Days hasn't been dazing for me. Like, the episodes have been a little bit mid for me. I don't know. I'm not interested in most of the storylines they have going right now, but I'm still gonna watch. So let's get into it. Excuse me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And let's get into Leo and Dimitri. So Leo and Dimitri are talking, and they're in the bed getting back rubs and all this, and then all of a sudden, Jada and Rafe burst into the room. And when this happens, of course, they're like, you're under arrest, you're going to prison. He said, nah, you'll be all right. Get out of the bed. We've seen it all before. And so as they're doing this, Dimitri throws the covers back, and they hit Leo in the face, and he starts suffocating. And then we find out it was all a dream, a nightmare of Leo's. And so he tells Dimitri like he feels like he's suffocating because they're on the run and they're in the Roach Motel again. And he feels like, what are we going to do? And they say, okay, let's put our money together. They got like $14. Like, child, what? And they said, this is not enough because, Dimitri has no money now. That Gwen emptied out their account and he gave his shares over to Gabby and Stefan. So they said, okay, well, what are we gonna do? And Dimitri says, let's call my mom. She can help us get out of this. Like, let's find my mom. She'll be able to do it. And Leo says she causes too much attraction. Like, she never does anything on the low. And he said, and besides that, we don't even know where she is. We would need money just to get out and get away. And so Leo says, well, I actually have some petty cash that the paper gave me, and we could go and get that. And so that's what they agree upon, that they're going to go and get that there because it's Salem's, I can't think of what it's called. But anyway, y'all know how they do that every year. They throw the Halloween in the square, and he says we can blend right in. Let's be ghost, and then we can go to the room, get the money, and then we can, we're out. I said, I don't know what's going to happen with these two and this storyline and everything. I don't know. Let's keep going. So then we see Kayla and Rafer talking, and she just wants to know like what's going on with the man who, like, with Leo and Dimitri. And he tells her they've had no leads right now. They, like, everything is on alert, but they're really short staffed and they have no leads. And then she says, well, what about Trip? And he says there's not much to go on there. It was a junkie with no ID, and then the security footage didn't really capture his face well, so he was just some random. And she says, oh, I know you guys are doing your best. And she's embarrassed because she says, I worked for Steve so long and I let Dimitri and Leo get the drop on me. And he was like, don't be, but we're gonna do everything we can to, get these two into custody and to find the man who did that to Trip. And she said, okay, I know you guys will. I said, oh, do you? Okay. So he said, okay. And that's pretty much it with them, y'all. Then we go over here to Ava and Harris. She's on the phone with him, and she wants to wish him a good day on his first day at the in the police force, and he thanks her for that and everything. And that's pretty much it. That we're just talking about that. And he tells her, you're gonna find a job, Ava. And she was like, I know, and everything. So then Ava's at the her son's apartment still, because she's staying there with him, and she gets a knock on the door. And when she answers the door, it's it's the man. It's the man who is he's like the middleman for Clyde. His name is Gil. And so he's there to tell Ava, okay, you can start working for us now. Also, Ava had a job as the chef, but she canceled that job because of everything that's going on with Clyde also. But So he tells her, I'm here as the middleman for Clyde. Now we're going to go ahead and get you to work, and you're going to be managing the bistro and all that. And she said, no, I already said I wasn't going to do that. And he told her, excuse me, ma'am, you don't have a choice in this. And maybe you need some more convincing about your son, Trip, because I don't know why you think that you got a choice. So then Trip was in the bedroom with Wendy, but and he was telling her his neck was stiff because to avoid sleeping on the arm where the man cut him, he actually slept in a different position and it made his neck stiff. So she's massaging him and everything. And they're both talking just about jobs, about Ava. They're just catching up. And I'm not going to hold you on that. Anyway, so Trip comes out of the bedroom and he hears the man talking to Ava. And he was like, Mom, who is this? And the man tells him, he's Gil. He's the new owner of the bistro, and that he is and of course Trip, not knowing any better, he's like, Mom, why wouldn't you work for this man? Oh my God, this is such a great thing. And of course the man has threatened Trip again. So Ava goes ahead and is like, yeah, 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 I'll do it, because there was no reasonable explanation on why she wouldn't do this. It's a legit job. The man clearly wants her to work for him, so there was no explanation on why she couldn't do it. So she has to go ahead and say, well, she don't have to, but she goes ahead and she says yes to the man or whatever, right? So then we see Harris and Kate. So when he gets off the phone with Ava, Kate comes in because he's sitting in the pub, right? And she starts talking to him, and he tells her, she hears him talk about his job, and she was like, "You got a job?" He was like, "Yeah, you told me to go down to speak to Rafe, and he hired me." And she was like, "Oh, wow." And he said, "Why do you sound surprised? You're the one who told me to go down." And she said, "Because of your associates, your association with certain people." And he was like, "With Megan, they know that she was. They know that he was in that because he was brainwashed." She said, "No, but Ava." And I said, listen, I like Kate. I really do like Kate. But this whole thing now where she's just so judgmental about everything and everyone, like she doesn't have a past, it's just annoying at this point. Like they literally, she doesn't have a storyline. She just comes on and judges people's life. But anyway, let me move on. And so she's telling him all about Ava, and he said, "Listen, Kate, Ava told me like everything about her past. I already know all of it. So you don't have to warn me. Ava's trying to turn over a new leaf, and I believe her." And she's like, "Okay, but I'm just saying." And he was like, "No, like I hear what you're saying." And he doesn't want to hear it, ma'am. He doesn't want to hear it. He's trusting Ava, and so that's it. I said, look at him looking like Jason Morgan with the leather jacket. I said, come on. Come on now. But anyways, he just tell Kate he don't want to hear it. So then Kayla comes over to Kate and she asks Kate, they're talking about everything that went down with Leo and Dimitri and Trip and all that. And then Kayla asks Kate, "Do you ever miss it?" Because Kate, they bring up the fact that Leo was Kate helped Leo in trying to blackmail Sonny, taking over Vivian's plan. And Kayla asks Kate, "Do you ever miss that? Like being on the dark side?" And she said, "Yeah, sometimes, but I'm the commissioner's ex-commissioner's wife, so I just chill out." And I said, is Kayla about to try to do something? I don't know, child. Let's move on. So then we see Kayla talks to Trip. They both end up at the hospital, and he tells her about his mom's job. And she's like, "Oh, that's good. But do you think that's a lot of responsibility for her? Because that can be stressful being a manager." And he says, "No, she was worried about it too, but she wouldn't have accepted. And I think it's good for her." And Steve and Trip are just worried about Ava's mental, and if she gets into more trouble. They don't want that for Trip. And he says, "Listen, everything's going to be okay." And then they said he was just saying, I wish I knew what was going on with the man at the hospital. Like, what did I do to provoke him to cut me and everything? He knows he was a drug addict, but what could he have done differently?" And Kayla said sometimes those things just happen. And that's pretty much it with them, y'all. She just warns him about Ava and, keep his eyes open. So then we see Jada and Rafe talk, and she's looking over the files with Dimitri, and she says she's so backed up with work that she really could use a partner. And so Harris comes in, and Rafe says, Harris is your partner. And Jada tells him, well, I looked through your case files, and it's not all pretty. I say, girl, I know you're not judging nobody with the sister you got. But anyway, she said, I looked through your case files, and it's not all pretty. He said, yeah. He said, and I understand if you don't want to be my partner. She said, no, I understand what was going on with you at that time, about Megan and everything. She said, so I'm happy to have a Navy SEAL have my back. And so Harris was like, okay, you said the first case you wanted us to work on was who gave Susan Banks to Crumb. And he says, actually, Rafe tells them, actually, the first case I want y'all to work on is bringing Leo and Dimitri back in. And so then after they leave, because there's like, okay, let's go over to the Salem Inn, like to the last place that they were. So they're going on. Harris and Jada are going over there, and then we see Wendy comes in as Rafe is working on his computer and he messing up his computer and everything. And Wendy comes in and she fixes it for him, and they need a head of job because she fixed Rafe's computer and she did such a great job on it that he's like, I'm gonna bring you in as head of IT, right? So then we see that when 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 all that happens, we go back over here to um, Ava, because the man had told her, let's go to the bistro and start walking through your job. And so she left with him because Trip was still there, and she had to pretend that everything was all right. So, but she tells him, when they're in the middle of the town square, hey, I don't want to do this. How about I connect you to my cousin Angelo, who I turn the business over to? He can hire, get somebody to work for you and do the front, because I'm trying to be legit. I don't want to do this anymore. And so he tells her, why don't y'all bring cousin Angelo? But anyways, he tells her, girl, I'm going to ignore that you wanted to have this conversation with me, because this is double crossing Clyde. And she says, okay, but I don't want to do this. And he says, well, your son's life is at stake if you don't do this. And I said, just go to your cousin and tell them what's going on, or go to Harris, or go somewhere like Ava. Okay, child. But anyway, so she's getting all upset. And then at that point, Harris and Jada come walking through, because remember, they were on their way to the Salem Inn. And so they walk through, and he's like, Ava, are you okay? You seem upset. And that was it, y'all. That was Days of Our Lives today. I'm not going to hold you long. Like, these episodes, I'm going to be honest, they're setting up storylines I don't care about. Like, I don't care about, like, the whole Alexander, Constantine, Teresa storyline. I don't care about this Ava storyline with Clyde. There's not really a storyline that I'm just like, ooh, I want to watch. I want to watch for this. And it's surprising, because when they went to Peacock, Days was doing some of their best writing when they went to Peacock last year, and it's kind of fallen off these last few um months for me. I think the last storyline that and I know y'all didn't like it, but I liked the Abe storyline with Whitley and everything. I liked that storyline, but that was probably, and then I liked the Megan storyline when I thought she was going to be there for a little while. And that was probably the last storyline that I've really been kind of interested in, because I feel like they dropped the ball on the Dimitri, Gwen, and Leo storyline. I don't know. And then Gabby and Stefan, all they're doing is scheming. Nicole and this baby storyline and everything. We know there's about to be a baby swap. That's what the spoilers are saying. And I'm like, okay, child. But I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think. Maybe I'm just being too hard on this soap. But it's my favorite one. And it's my favorite because they have the best storylines. But these that are coming up, I'm like, I'm not really interested. Y'all tell me what you think. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you tomorrow for a new episode of What Happened on the Soaps Days of Our Lives edition. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.